is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn. We are back, and of course, feel like we haven't seen each other in years because we missed 1 week of recording a podcast. But I am very excited to be back. I'm very excited to see your face. And just, how was your Sabrina Carpenter show?
Oh, Sam, when you told me that it was going to change my life, not that I underestimated.
No,
but
did it not change your life?
Whatever my expectations were high. Like, I was going into this like this show is going to slap. It blew every expectation out of the water. She is phenomenal. Like, one of Taylor Swift is in her own category. She's been around for a long time. But
Sure.
like, other than Taylor Swift, one of the greatest performers I've seen live. And I can't remember if your show was before or after the whole thing where someone posted a TikTok that was calling her out. They're like, oh, the show's great, but she lip syncs 80% of the time. And Sabrina literally clapped back and she was like, no, I don't. And then she removed all the backing tracks, which are just there as like extra support when you're singing for that long of a time.
Right.
When I tell you her vocals were going off, I couldn't get enough. And literally this show, it shows the importance of having like a theme and a set and a performance, because she nailed it from beginning to end. The theme was insane. It didn't feel too in your face. Like, it was so perfect. And there were so many details. Like, the set was incredible. Like, I can't say enough good things about how amazing the short and sweet show was.
Yeah. What was your surprise song?
Oh, Busy Woman.
You got Busy Woman too. Yes. Wasn't it so good?
Yes. And I love that she put the lyrics on the screen for like karaoke, because we were singing along as if we've ever heard this song before.
I know, me too. Like, I was singing with her and I'm like, I've literally never heard this song before in my life, but like, you could kind of like go with it, you know?
Yes. And then my sister, Robbie, has somehow downloaded a version of it where you can like listen to it, but it's like your phone can't lock while you're listening to it. Like, it's not like it's in your music or anything, but you can have it. Yeah. And both of our sisters, we drove separate. So it was my sister and Robbie's sister in one car, me and Robbie in the other. And after the concert, our sisters were texting us and they were like, can you please send us that MP3? I need to listen to this on repeat the entire way home.
Yeah, no, it's a very good song.
Yes.
Very good song. But I'm so glad you had a good time.
Yes.
You looked so cute.
Thank you.
Like, I was just like, oh my God, she's going to have such a good time.
No, vibes were so good. And as we know, last week we did not have a show because Sam was having some home renovations.
You can't see them, but my floors look amazing.
They look so phenomenal.
Literally, I got our entire floors, our staircase, our landing, everything got redone. So we didn't have an episode last week because I physically did not have a space to record. And so I was like, you know what? We're just gonna, it elongated the process like an extra couple of days. So I was just like, you know what? We'll just not have an episode this week. I don't even know. Can you hear like the echo in my?
No, I think you sound great.
Oh, thanks, Blue. Thanks, Blue microphone. Because there's like not all my furniture and like not all my stuff is in this room yet. So like it sounds very echoey in here still. But yeah, no, I'm very happy. She's finally arrived. She's finally here. Yes, she has her own little table. Let's scoot you down a little bit.
My Emmy award-winning co-host.
She's yes, I'm very happy to have her here. Now I have to figure out what to do here, but don't look at these.
Okay, no. I'm blind.
They're not there. But yes, so I was able to grab some stuff from my parents' house that I had like I just didn't have a space for this. Nice. So now I got a table for it. We moved a few things around, so we kind of have like a nice like new setup, and I'm very, very happy. Like, it's like starting to feel like our house now, which is very nice.
Good. I love that for you. There's so much home stuff going on. I'm going to do a quick plug. If you are in the South Jersey area, I'm very excited to announce that I have just launched my mom's social media accounts. You can find her at the Kitchen Suite on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. She opened her own kitchen bathroom design studio this year, and she's doing phenomenal. So make sure to go follow and check that out because I'm going to be showing a lot of her before and afters. Yes, the fidget sprints.
Yeah, I literally was like, my keyboard down here is dead. So I was like, I don't know. I was like,
That's
yes.
hysterical. But yeah, no, it's our first big launch for Mama, who is already on a wait list till January. So
Queen.
yeah, queen. She's absolutely slaying.
I love that for her.
Yes.
I love that for her. But
Phenomenal
yes,
stuff.
I did give it a follow also just because like I just love house things.
Yes.
And it's like my house will probably never look like this, but I'm going to watch videos of other people's houses look like this. Your mom just does a phenomenal job. And I'm not even just like hyping her up. Like it's gorgeous.
No, like I always feel like people don't take me seriously enough where I'm like, my mom is an incredible interior designer. And they're like, oh, yeah, like she's your mom. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like
No.
she is an incredible interior designer.
She's not my mom. She's an incredible interior designer.
So everyone go follow and support and call her if you're in the South Jersey greater area and are looking for some updates to the home.
We love you, Jill.
I love you, Jill.
Shout out. Well, this was my topic that I kind of wanted to introduce the show with before we got into all of our NFL stuff for the day because we have so much to go over in the NFL right now. But I was like kind of like looking and trying to see like what has been going on like in my life like lately, pop culture things. I'm like, what can we talk about? I have so many hyperfixations on TikTok currently.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk to you about your current hyperfixation on TikTok or like the most random thing that's been coming up on your For You page recently because I have 3. And they're like the most random things in the world, but I just I don't know why. I can't stop watching.
My favorite thing, and this isn't totally new because we've talked about this in the past, but I'm just getting more and more of them, are the girlies who have now discovered football, whether it be On Your Own or Taylor Swift, whatever it is. I'm so grateful for you because you are taking all of my favorite songs and making the craziest edits to like niche NFL situations. And I just get like, I get Joe Burrow ones, I get Josh Allen one, I get Aaron Rodgers one, I obviously get Eagles ones, but like they are all so good and so well thought out. And I could watch them for hours, like literal hours. So that's my favorite one. My other one, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and ironically enough, I'm still on it. And I wonder if it's just because of all the horrible things going on in our world right now with natural disasters.
Yeah.
But I am on like tornado talk.
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane talk, like, and all I'm watching, and it's awful. And I get so much anxiety to the point where Brian's like, scroll, because you're going to be thinking about this random family for 3 days.
Have you been getting the videos of the woman in the concrete house?
No.
Oh my God, Jordan. The second we're done recording, go on TikTok and look up the woman who's sitting, like, did not evacuate for Hurricane Milton in Florida because she had a concrete house. Like, she was, and like, but then like days went by after the hurricane and she didn't post anything and everybody started like freaking out. Yeah.
Is she okay?
I don't know. I haven't updated. I have not looked to see if she's posted.
Oh my God. I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about her. I literally told Brian, I was like, I want to take a leave of absence from work and go like down there. Like that. I don't know what it was about these. Obviously every natural disaster is horrific and horrible.
Yeah.
I have a lot of family in Florida. My pop-up lived there. So I don't know if it's like an emotional attachment thing, but
Yeah.
this hurricane, and I wonder, I was saying this to Brian too, like this is really the first like major like catastrophic event that like we've got to witness through social media. And I feel like that's making it so much worse because like I'm watching these people's lives get wiped away and I'm just like going to work, going to the gym. I was like, I feel so guilty and then I can't stop thinking about these people.
I know.
But yeah, that those NFL edits and natural disasters are my TikTok hyperfixations.
Yeah. If we have any listeners from Florida, hope you're doing okay. because it was so horrible seeing everything leading up to it, seeing the aftermath of it all.
Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee,
Yeah.
everywhere that got hit. I have not been able to stop thinking about you. I bought t-shirts. I donated. I was like, what can I do? Like, how do I help? Because it's scary. And then, like I said, I just feel so guilty living like a normal life after.
I know. It's not easy, but I feel you. But I highly recommend looking up The Woman with the Concrete House.
Okay, I'm going to.
I think that it's exactly the niche that you are. But I was just remembering that video of Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs that I sent you the other day, that it was like them with their breakup.
No.
Wait, what is it?
Yes,
we can't be friends. I was like, wait, what was the song? It's like, I don't want to tiptoe.
I showed that to Brian, and he's like, this is the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because, like, the way guys watch football and the way girls watch football are different. Like,
Completely.
so different. And you know what? I think we have more fun with it.
100%. I think that we feel the more emotion towards it. Just because as women, we just have more emotions and it's just like natural. I literally think that we just get so, exhibit A is exhibit B with you and I. We get so attached to these men that we've never met before. And just like, I'm just like, oh my God, I would literally take a bullet for you if you needed me to.
Yep.
Unreal.
I can't tell you how many times I have said, like, into a microphone, recorded, it's on the internet, that I would jump in front of a bus for Lamar Jackson. And to this day, so true.
Well, so my one hyperfixation that isn't like super weird, but it's the trend of the Gracie Abrams song, I Love You, I'm Sorry.
Yep.
And it's like, lay on the horn to prove that it haunts me. And like it's like a swipe a lot of times. Have you seen these?
Yes.
The one that set me off was Paul Walker from Fast and Furious.
Wait, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And his daughter, and you swiped, and I am literally giving myself goosebumps. Fucking Vin Diesel walking her down the aisle. I literally paused it and put my phone down. I was like,
I had the same exact. I was just getting ready to say that. I literally was like, "That's enough TikTok for today." Like,
and I like opened it up, and like the comments were just like, "Ouch."
Yes.
Like they were just like, "Wait, pause. This one hurt way too much."
I love the comments. Honestly, my favorite thing, and this is like a slight step away, but I'll circle back, I promise. But my favorite thing now with TikTok is that like comments trend. Yes. And like, I love when they're like, you didn't have to make this. Yeah. But my favorite trending comment right now is, who is this diva?
I was just going to say, I was like, if she doesn't say this, I'm going to say, who is this diva? I say that now.
Yes, no, it's a part of my vocabulary.
It's so funny.
Yes.
Because but then like the best is like when they enunciate it where they're like, who is this diva?
Yeah.
Or it's like, who is this diva? And I'm like, oh my God, it's so good.
But no, literally, if you go to, I am just so obsessed with I can't remember if it's Vivo or Vimeo, whatever, like live version Gracie Abrams did of I Love You, I'm Sorry, where she's
releasing. Did you see that?
What?
She's releasing.
Yes. And I'm having a very tough week. And I got that email this morning and I went, thank you, Gracie.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is really going to save me.
Oh my, that when she goes up the octave.
And then did you hear her interview about, oh no, Sam, I'm PMSing and this made me want to jump off my balcony because I am a long time, like I didn't listen to Gracie when Minor first came out. But I found her quickly after, and then I've been through good riddance. Like I've been with this girl and I love her, would do anything for her. And I get a lot of people all the time that's just like, yeah, but like I just can't listen to her because of the way she sings. Like, and I'm like, it's her lyrics, it's her vibe, like that's her thing. She does this interview and she goes, yeah, like I never wanted to be like a whispery singer. I was just scared of being heard. I just got chills. And I was like,
joking.
Yes, because she has so much anxiety. She's very insecure. So now, like hearing her say those words, I was like, blown
Prove
away.
that it haunts
And then,
me.
yes, now seeing her belt, I'm like, it's like an awakening, an opening, but she
So
deserves the world. However, I did promise that I would circle back to your hyperfixations, and this is me doing exactly that. So you said you had that one that wasn't that weird.
yes.
What's your other one?
My other one is I don't know if like I literally just started getting these videos randomly. I like every single one of them. It's this guy Caleb Hammer, and he basically it's a podcast. I've never listened to the podcast, only watched the clips on TikTok. People come on to his show who have like crazy financial issues, like
Mhm.
they like do not know how to deal with their money, and a lot of times they're like really stupid young people that are just like he's just like, "Oh, what's the problem?" And they're like, "I can't afford my rent." And they give him like all of their paper, like all of their bills and everything. And he's like, "Well, it says here that you spent $1,000 on, Uber Eats last month. That's where your rent's going." And he
Yeah.
like basically degrades them. And they're just like, "No, like that's not the problem." And like it's fantastic. It's excellent. And there's one person who's on there that they literally are like, "I will never give up Spotify, like paying for Spotify." And he's like, "You don't need this." And they were like, "Yes, I do. It's a necessity." And he was like, "You can't listen to an ad." And I'm like, "Oh my God, he's like so sassy." It's I don't know where they came from. I don't know why they were recommended to me, but it makes
I
me feel
am
really
gonna
good
be
about
obsessed
my
with that.
finances.
Yes, because I have severe money anxiety. I always have for no reason.
It's like just makes me feel good, which is probably why I
Yes.
like it so much, but I get them all the time. And then the other one that I got is Amalfi Jets. Have you ever seen Amalfi Jets?
No.
Okay, it's this guy who works at a jet company called Amalfi Jets. His name's Colin. And every video starts the same. He's like, Amalfi Jets, this is Colin. And he puts the person on speakerphone. And it's like the most outrageous things. Like people are just like calling about like getting private jets. And I'm like, will I ever fly in a private jet? Probably not. Will I ever intend to fly in a private jet? Probably not. Have I ever flown in a private jet? No. Do I watch every video? Yes. Like it is, but like people will call and they'll be like, "I need a plane in the next like 20 minutes to take me from LA to Barbados so that I can go hang out with my boyfriend," or something like that. And he's just like, "Girl, what?" Like it's outrageous. But I was like, I just need to know if other people are also getting these videos. So if anybody is getting these videos, please comment because I need somebody to talk to you about. That's the other comment that's trending.
What?
I I have no one to
No,
send
but
this to.
yes. Yes.
That's me all the time with these videos. I'm like, I don't know who to talk to about this
Um,
because it's like so random.
I was at work and I got speaking of I love you, I'm sorry video. And it was the proof that it haunts me with the swipe. Sam, it literally just said to prove that it haunts me on a black screen. And then you swipe, and it was Caitlin Clark when she put past the ball and hit Paige so it would go out of bounds so they would lose. I was like, my worlds are just completely colliding. And I was at work, like on the verge of tears, and no one got it. And I was like,
Yeah, who do I send this to?
yes, I just need somebody to talk. I mean, I send you everything sports related.
Yeah, literally, like anything I ever see. You know what TikTok says to me now? When certain videos come up, it recommends send to Sporty on the bottom.
That's the cutest shit I've ever heard.
It literally, and like every time I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna send this to Jordan, and it literally pops up, and I'm like, the chip in my brain is working. It's working. They can see everything. They
Oh
know
my God.
everything. But yeah, it's so real. But I just had to share because I need to know if anybody who's listening has ever watched either Caleb Hammer videos or Amalfi Jets. Please let me know. So I
No,
had
I
someone
feel
to
like
talk to about this.
my TikTok feed is so not like boring. Like I love the videos, but I get no diversity at all. Like it's Gracie Abrams, Taylor Swift, sports, and that's
Yeah.
like the extent of it. So I definitely need some new things. So send me random things so I can better my For You page.
I get so many cat videos. I'm
I
like,
get the weird one I get often and I get sucked in every time, but I want to say it's probably a hyperfixation, but those ADHD
the
duet
splits.
ones where it's
Yeah.
like a comedy sketch with someone doing something. And I'm like, these were made for me.
Yeah. No, there's literally in every time, like, I'm, like, scrolling on TikTok and, like, Michael will, like, look over and he'll be like, "Ah, another ADHD video, huh?" And I'm like, "Stop. Like,
Yep.
let me watch this ball try and fall into this hole while I listen to this random skit about a hairdresser or something like that. Like, let me live my life,
Oh my
please."
God, wait. Speaking of ADHD, so me and Sam have talked about this on the show before, but I have had a feeling like since high school that I had ADHD, didn't do anything about it, thought I'd grow out of it, got worse with age. So I finally, so I finally went to talk to someone and I obviously had to take like the ADHD test. And of course, my brain is like, what if I'm gaslighting myself into thinking I have ADHD? Like, what if I'm just lazy, like going through it? And I'm taking this ADHD test. I'm like, this is the hardest shit I've ever done in my entire life. And then still I took it and I was like, what if they still don't think I have it? And I hopped on with my psychiatrist and she said, "Oh girl, I'm not worried. You got it." Like she said, don't freak out.
Yeah, literally, don't worry. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I feel the same way, I'm just like, "Oh my god, am I, like, lying to myself?"
Yes.
No,
I'm like,
you're
what if
not.
I'm just lazy? Like, what if I get into complete task paralysis because I'm lazy? And they're like, no, your brain is literally not producing enough dopamine. Like,
Yeah, no, do not worry.
yep. So that was fun.
Yeah, I feel ya. I feel ya. The thing was too, I didn't even know that I had ADHD until my therapist was like, "Hey, so about your ADHD," and I was like, "Nope, I don't got that." And she's like, I thought you did." And I'm like, "I've literally never said that before." And she goes, Take this test." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, You scored a 97%." And I was
Yep.
like, "Oh."
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
shit.
she goes, there's low, there's pretty low, and then there's extremely low. And she just goes, I'm just gonna say you definitely have it. And I was like, oh no, like I don't even know how bad it was.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fun time.
It
It's
is,
a fun
yeah.
time. It's
No, I feel
probably
very seen. I
yeah.
had a feeling the first time I really thought that I had it was when I was taking an Adderall, like to clean my house or something, like not even for anything fun. And like Spencer took it, I took it, and we were like just trying to focus. And Spencer was like so in the zone. And I was like, my head's
Feels
quiet. Like,
normal, yeah.
yeah. And I was like, then Spencer was like, I'm not going to be able to eat all day. I got hungry. She was like, how can you eat right now? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm just hungry.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like, you're using this for the right reasons. Like,
It's like, you should be taking this
yeah.
actually, like, every day to, like, function like a person. Yeah,
Oh, good
literally,
times.
literally. Well, speaking of ADHD, let's talk about the NFL.
Yes.
Um, um, NFL week 6. So we didn't even have a chance to talk about NFL week 5. Honestly, I feel like it was, like, fine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was, like, the best week for us to not have an episode because, like, not a ton really went down.
Mhm.
But NFL week 6, I was at a bridal shower on Sunday. Jordan was so wonderfully sending me updates throughout Sunday because I had to be at this shower I was a matron of honor for my friend, also Sam. But she's sending me all this stuff and she's just like it was like a roller coaster of emotions. She's just
Yep.
like, "Oh my god, Baker's not well. Actually, Baker's doing so well." And I was like and I'm like seeing all these messages at the same time. My emotions are like, "Oh, oh, oh."
And
And
then
then
the
she's like
text, the Aiden Hutchinson text,
she
which I
sent me this text while I'm driving, and it was like, "Most gruesome injury I've seen in a minute. Aiden Hutchinson will not play another snap this season." I'm like driving and I'm like and so I was driving with my mom and I was like, "Mom, Google Aiden Hutchinson injury." I literally was just like telling her to like I was like Google NFL week 6 scores. And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Okay, what would you like me to do?" I'm like, "Read all of them to me." And then she'll like say something. I'm like, "Okay, open a new tab." ADHD brain. I was like,
Yep.
"You got to run with me here." I was like, "Open a new tab, look up Baker Mayfield stats, tell me how many touchdowns he had, how many interceptions he had." And then the Aiden Hutchinson thing happened, and I was just like, "Mom, Google Aiden Hutchinson injury." And she looks it up and she goes, "I can't find any videos or pictures." And I went, "Call dad." And so she calls my father, and literally he goes, "Hello?" She goes, "What happened to Aiden Hutchinson?" And of course he's like, "What?
What?
Like, why
Yeah.
is my wife calling me and asking me about Aiden Hutchinson?" I'm like, "Dad, what happened?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, it's not good. And I was like, what happened? He goes, took in an ambulance, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, and then I finally got home, looked on Twitter, literally sending so many good vibes to Aiden Hutchinson right now. The kindest, most wonderful person
Yep.
you'll ever meet. Oh my God. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
No, it's like it was really, really disgusting. And if anything, like Nick Chubb last year was really, really bad, but this reminded me more of like Alex Smith. Like, and I don't even want to put that energy out there, like wish that upon him, but it was so gruesome. And like you already said, to happen to one of like could have been defensive player of the year this year. And not only is he so insanely talented, but incredible person, just all around amazing human being. Literally that morning, I saw a TikTok of this little boy walking through the airport wearing, did you see this?
No.
He's wearing an Aiden Hutchinson jersey, and Aiden Hutchinson is walking through the airport with his whole family. They stopped this little kid, like his dad or sister went up and tapped him, and he turns around and he's like, and Aiden Hutchinson just stops to talk to him, take a picture with him. And I was just like such just a down to earth, like he just seems, I don't know him personally, but everything I've seen, every time I've heard him speak, like you can just tell he's a gem. And not that injuries should happen to bad people either, but like
right. It's like we don't want injuries to happen to anybody, but
it's so sad. And with the season that the Lions are having and the season that he was on pace to have, it makes it just even worse. So sending prayers. I saw his surgery went well. So hopefully he comes back next season stronger than ever.
I just want to thank the Detroit Lions for being the Detroit Lions and absolutely handing the ass of the Dallas Cowboys to Jerry Jones on his 89th birthday on a fucking silver platter. And Dan Campbell, my absolute king. Absolute king. He's like, it's like, oh yeah, no, we're up by like 30 points. And he's like, run the fucking plays.
Yeah.
Put the fucking lineman in the end zone. And I'm like, dude, I love it.
Yes,
like,
I love big men touchdowns.
He literally is the intrusive thoughts that everyone has while sitting on their couch. He actually does them.
I hate to even say this. He is who Nick Sirianni thinks that he is.
Nick Sirianni. I saw the clip. We actually talked about it at work today. The clip of him saying, no, we're just happy to get the win. No, we're just happy to get the win. It was a great game. We're just happy to get the win. And I'm like, bro, you fucking won against the Cleveland Browns and you didn't even blow them out.
No, Sam, 4 points. 4 points. I was ready. I was like, if we lose this game, I genuinely, I don't know what to do with myself at that point. No, Nick Sirianni, I fear, is losing it.
Shaved his head?
Yep. He shows up with the shaved head. I was like, hopefully they put him through fucking boot camp, and that's why his head is shaved, and they knocked him into shape. But ugly game. He's a weirdo. And at first he was a fun weirdo. Now I'm like, no, I fear you're just a weirdo. And he's still my head coach. Brian, are you ready for this? My lovely boyfriend, Brian. I get flowers fairly regularly, which I'm very grateful for because I love my flowers. And I don't think before Brian, I never just got random flowers from a guy ever. I'd gotten them on Valentine's Day, but to get them, they're very important to me. Brian literally looks at me. He goes, you get no flowers until Nick Sirianni's fired. I said, how is this my fault? I said, well, what did I do? I was like, why am I being punished? So now I'm like, Nick, you have to go.
You have to go. Oh my God. I literally, the fact, and I'd love to hear your point of view as a fan, the fact that he did that press, post-game presser with all of his children.
Oh, Sam.
He was using them as a shield, right? That's what that was.
We literally said, we were like, if we went out there and beat the Browns 40-10,
sure,
and you bring your kids to the press conference, you do whatever the fuck you want. You sit up there and you say, I told you to trust us. We didn't have our top 2 receivers last week. We didn't have Lane Johnson. And look at what we just did. If that was the case, do whatever you want. I'll shave my head for you. when we beat the fucking Cleveland Browns, who don't even care to win anymore, they traded Amari Cooper away today. Went by 4, and like that game was tied and close. You don't bring your kids. You show up there and you own up and you say this was an ugly win. We still have things to figure out. Like he went up there so cocky and arrogant after. And I'm like, this doesn't make me feel good. And I'm just so tired of hearing him say, like, we know there are things to fix, but like, we're going to fix it. It's like, then do it. We've been hearing this for technically a full season, the second half of last year. Now we're 5 weeks into this, or 6 weeks into this season. Like, I'm very frustrated. And I fear this team has too much talent to be this average. So I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Yeah. I mean, even like with the Bengals and the Giants Sunday night, bad win for the Bengals. But Joe got on the post game and was just like, yeah, we could have done better. Jamar got on the post game and was just like, that was shitty. But you know what? We got the win, but definitely got to work on that.
Yes.
Because, you only scored 17 points against the Giants.
I mean, granted, Giants defense is no joke.
They are so good. They are literally what's holding my soul together right now, because we are dealing with so much on offense between Daniel Jones up and down, Malik's still out with the concussion, Devin Singletary was out. I mean, like, people are stepping up, and I love to see like Wan'Dale Robinson stepping up and like everything like that. But now we're losing our left tackle, who is like our body and soul of our offensive line, which is like so shitty, which means Daniel Jones is gonna get hurt. We will be seeing Tommy DeVito and or Drew Lock very soon because Evan Neal doesn't know how to fucking block for shit. I could go on. That's not even my roast of the week. Like,
no, I still haven't decided my roast. There are a few options.
All right. Well, before we get into the roast, since you mentioned Amari Cooper earlier, we had another major trade, and we are going to try out a new segment and see how this goes.
Yep.
So coming to you live from Unsolicited, we got Jordy Schefter and Sammy Rappaport. Per sources, Davante Adams has gone to the New York Jets as of today, as we are recording right now. Oh, I literally saw this news. I was sitting down. I stood up. I was like, this, because how many times did I tell you? I was like, there's no way Davante Adams goes to the Jets.
You did.
I said so many times what a shitty idea that was.
Yep.
But what Aaron wants, Aaron gets.
And after that game last night, he was like, I'm not putting up with these fucking receivers any longer. You go get me Davante Adams now. And the Jets were like, okay.
Literally, someone check on Mike Williams because there might be a hit out on him right now. Yeah. I feel so bad. Aaron Rodgers just straight up was just like, hey, guess whose fault that was? Not me. He was like, I think it was Mike who was supposed to run that red line. And I was like, oh, shit. Mike Williams, you better start heading home now.
Yeah, no. Pack your bag. But this is our per sources segment. Mm-hmm. Breaking news. Adam Rodgers. Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee today. Davante Adams just sneaks in the background. I heard they slept in the same bed last night. Per sources.
Wait. Because that's my roast of the week. I kid you.
Oh my God. Wait, now I need to hear this.
I literally wrote in my long notes app of things that I've literally been listing things off to talk to Jordan about. Roast dash Aaron Rodgers for literally thinking about Davante Adams on the bench while losing to the Bills, and then most likely having a sleepover and signing him the next day. That's literally what I wrote down.
I am fucking dead.
No, because they 100% did.
Yes. No, like, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers was like, he literally sent Davante Adams a you up text. Like, yes. He was like, please come back to me.
He's like, I'm on my way home from MetLife right now. I really need you right now. Can you come over?
We know Aaron Rodgers is a Swiftie. He definitely sent Davante Adams, come back, be here.
Literally. And Davante said, say less.
Yes. He said, you know what? My hamstring, totally fine.
They said that he's going to be ready for week 7.
Yeah, no, because he was not hurt. Like, he was just done with the fucking Raiders. Why he went there in the first place, I have no idea. Well, I get it, Derek Carr. But
yeah, Derek Carr, yeah. But no, it was so funny because when I saw that, and then of course Pat is like out of his mind and he's like screaming and everything. And like I'm like watching Aaron Rodgers and he's just sitting there, not even like blinking, nothing. He's just sitting there with like this like coy smirk on his face, like, that's my boyfriend. He's like hard launching him again. Like he's like, hey, remember that ex that you told me that I should never reach out to again? And they just like pop into frame.
Yep.
Like that's insane.
I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out. I think after the loss last night, I don't really know how to feel because we and you talked about it one-on-one today that like now the Jets are in a really tough position in the AFC East. Granted, we have a lot of season left. Anything can happen. But I agree that like career-wise, I don't know if this is the best move for Davante Adams. But you know what? I mean, we see it like me and Brian literally made the joke last night that like he still relies on Alan Lazard, like as if they're still like 4 years ago in Green Bay. Like, and I'm like, maybe this is what they needed. Like,
I literally like, if I were Garrett Wilson, I would be throwing a bitch fit right now.
No, Garrett Wilson may not be a Jet for much longer.
No, I think first of all, Mike Williams should just leave the team. Like
you know he should just retire.
He should just dip because you will do absolutely nothing now.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna like light a sage and curse Mike Williams.
Yeah, literally, like Mike Williams is gonna try and enter like the facility, and it's gonna be like that Jamal Adams.
I almost tweeted that last night, and I was like, I feel like this is too in your face. Like,
no, that would be very funny. I would have retweeted that. Retweet, or re-X, whatever. So I don't know what it's called. But Garrett Wilson. I know because I just saw the clip today that Kay Adams posted from back over the summer where she asked him, would you invite Davante Adams with open arms? And he said, like, for sure. Like, he wants Davante on this team. And Garrett, another very sweet boy, like, he's a team player.
Yes.
For sure. He is not a wide receiver that's going to come out and be like, how dare you not give me the ball? But, like, damn, you're giving the ball to Allen?
And also, like, not even just for like Garrett Wilson is so good.
He's so
and, like,
good.
From a fan perspective, like I want him to have the Justin Jefferson treatment where like he is an offense. Now Justin Jefferson's in a league of his own. I'm not directly comparing them. Please do not put words in my mouth, but I just want him to get that like star treatment because we thought we were going to see it last season. Aaron Rodgers lasted 94 seconds. Then this season, it's been very washy. Like, it just doesn't seem like the Jets are clicking. They lose Robert Saleh. Now it's like they had momentum last night. There were some ugly plays. Aaron Rodgers was getting wrecked out there. I was like nervous for him. And then today they bring in Davante Adams. And I know he may not complain. I'm going to complain because I want to see more Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I 100% agree with that. I think that he should be, he's kind of like, it's like a friend group, friends that have been together for years and years and years, and you become friends with one of those people and they like you. They have nothing against you. And they're just like, hey, you know what you would love? My other friends.
Yes.
But they're super duper tight. And Garrett is just like they all have like their inside jokes and they've been together for so long and they're like, oh my God. But they're trying to include him. And he's just kind of on the outside of the circle, like, He is like, like when people walk on the sidewalk and you have like 2 or 3 people across and there's always like one person behind. Yes. Garrett Wilson is that one person behind walking on the sidewalk.
Which is wild because when you think about it, like when Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay, all we wanted them to do for 3 years in a row was draft a fucking wide receiver. Right. That's all we asked them to do. And we were like, poor Aaron Rodgers. Like, obviously, Davante Adams, he loses Davante Adams. He had Alan Lazard, like, but Aaron Rodgers was like doing these things with like what should be second, third string wide receivers on any other team. And he was making them look good. They were
Right.
relevant and good because they had Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And it's just so wild to me that now he's on a team. He has a young stud wide receiver and he's still using Alan Lazard. Like
And like the funny thing that I like tweeted this today because it was a picture of Davante and Garrett Wilson, and like I forget who tweeted it, but it was like, oh, like best duo, wide receiver duo in the NFL or something like that. And I quote tweeted it and I was like, all this just to throw to Alan Lazard 100 more times in the game. I'm like, because like at this point too, like, yeah, Davante's gonna come in. I'm sure he's gonna get reps. I'm sure he's gonna see some action, but he, also you have a week to learn the playbook. It's like Alan's been there. And like the whole thing that what the fuck are their names? Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were talking about on the broadcast was, which I have something else that I want to mention to you about that, is the fact that they were like, he has to trust his wide receivers. He does not trust Mike Williams.
No.
Like not even in the slightest. And they said this all before all that stuff had come out with the post game. This was during the game. And he was like, he trusts Alan Lazard. And I'm sure he trusts Davante Adams. Maybe he just doesn't trust Garrett Wilson yet, which is crazy because you've known him for 2 years now. Like, you should have some sort of rapport despite not playing.
He is a grumpy, introverted old man. Like, maybe he's just being stubborn.
Probably.
Yeah.
He is a grumpy old man.
He is such a grumpy old man. Every time the play or every time the cameras cut to him, and even if it's something good happens, he's just sitting there like,
this is how he was sitting on the bench. He had the blood on his hand and he was sitting there. And that was like the face I was referring to where he's like, I'm going to call Davante after this. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. And I'm like, good for you, man.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad that you have this much power. But what I wanted to mention to you, I don't know if you were listening very intently to the broadcast on Monday Night Football, but did you hear the South Jersey comment?
Wait, yes. But we weren't listening. And then all of a sudden we just heard South Jersey and both of our heads went.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they talking about South Jersey?
Like Collinsworth said something along the lines of South Jersey being in the South, like the South. And Tirico said, oh my God. No, wait. No, this was Sunday Night Football. No, wait. No, it was definitely Tirico and Collinsworth. I don't think it was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. It was definitely Tirico and Collinsworth, so it was Sunday night.
It was yesterday, right?
No, I think it was Sunday night. I also tweeted about it, so I will confirm the name.
Oh, I'm getting confused because didn't they play in MetLife last night too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Tirico, explaining it to Collinsworth, said, Collinsworth was like, yeah, it's in the South. Tirico says, you do know that South Jersey is not south of the Mason-Dixon line, right?
Wait, yes, that was the line I heard.
And again, I was also kind of half listening. And then I heard that comment and I looked up and I went, did we just have to explain to Chris Collinsworth that South Jersey is not the South?
Oh, yeah.
And then I tweeted it. And then somebody commented and was just like, actually, South Jersey is south of the Mason-Dixon line. And I went, there's no fucking way people are in South Jersey speaking the way that they do, and they are south of the Mason-Dixon line. There's no fucking way. And then some amazing woman, who I don't even know who she was, comments a diagram with the Mason-Dixon line going like this around New Jersey. And she goes, how?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because I originally was like, am I stupid? Is it actually south of the Mason-Dixon line? It's not.
South Jersey, now granted, South Jersey is known for having like a lot of farmland. Like that's a thing. Like everyone thinks,
yeah, sure.
People who like haven't seen like where I live in South Jersey are like, oh, you live in the sticks. And I'm like, nope, not that far south.
Yeah.
However, like where I live is like literally Philadelphia Junior. Like everyone thinks they're a city person. Like we're very suburban, but city-esque.
Yeah. It's like a mix, yeah.
You have like South Philly Italians living in South Jersey all over. We love them. Yeah, no, not south of the Mason-Dixon line.
So weird. And I'm like, you know what? Where's Chris Collinsworth from? He's probably from fucking Midwest.
Probably.
Sorry to anybody who lives in the Midwest. Yeah, he's from Dayton, Ohio.
Oh,
He doesn't know anything about South Jersey.
no. No, I'm gonna tell Chris Collinsworth to come spend a day with me in South Jersey.
Yeah,
Like, let me show you around.
like before you get canceled, Collinsworth, let's immerse you in South Jersey so that you actually know what's going on here.
That's a wild thought that South Jersey is actually in the South.
That's what I literally, and like obviously I'm not from South Jersey, but I worked down there for a number of years, so like I know what the area is like. I know what the people are like. It's not the South.
Is Maryland considered Southern?
I literally think the Mason-Dixon line goes across and then literally goes around Jersey like that. So I think, yeah, there's part. I think
They're like, Jersey, you don't fucking count. Stay up there.
literally they went around it. What states are in under the
A nice little unsolicited history lesson.
All right. The line borders the states of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and West Virginia in present day. Originally created to set up a southern border in the entirety of Pennsylvania, an extension of the line runs south along the Maryland-Delaware border.
Wait, so all of Pennsylvania is south?
No, it used to be.
Oh.
Now it's part of Pennsylvania.
I was like, how the fuck does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, no. I think that's why it goes like this. It goes around, like Philadelphia is not south of Mason, because that would be absurd.
No, my brain can't even wrap my head around.
That would be absurd. But that makes sense that some of Pennsylvania is, because some of Pennsylvania is just straight up corn.
Yes.
An Amish country. You know, you got the Amish country out there, which is stellar. If anybody's ever had any Amish food in their life, it's so good.
I have spent many a weekends in Amish country, Pennsylvania. Shout out to the Lancaster Barnstormers.
Yeah. That's right. When Brian was playing there. Yeah, no. It's they make really good food.
No, they really do.
They do. They do a real good job. And they do that with their horse and their carriages. Rock on, Amish country. I love that.
Wait, I decided someone that I can roast.
Oh, here we go.
Two people. I'll make it quick.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. I don't think either of you are good.
You know what? Facts.
I am so out on Trevor Lawrence at this point.
I'll stand by the numbers that Daniel Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence. Yep. I'll stand by that.
Statistically speaking, that's a fact.
Yeah, correct. I will literally die on that hill.
And also, like, how many playoff games has Trevor Lawrence won? 2? 1?
He's the same. No, I think you're right. I think it is 2.
I think they advanced once.
Yes, I think you're right. I think they won 2. But Daniel Jones still has 1.
1. That would have been like the cherry on top if they were either even or Daniel Jones had 1 more. But yeah, no, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is good. I really don't. And I was in denial about it for a while. I was like, oh no, like he'll figure it out. But maybe it's Doug Peterson. I don't think he's good in Jacksonville right now either. But ugly. You know, and also, when did they become London's team?
They've always been London's team.
Oh, really?
Yes. Since the Blake Bortles days.
Okay, so it's just every year I think I'm like, wow, the Jags always play in London.
They are literally guaranteed to play in London every single year. Blake Bortles, I'm pretty sure, went undefeated in London. Yeah, don't quote me on that. We have to fact check that, but I don't want to keep shaking my computer with my keyboard.
I'm pretty sure record in London.
Literally, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
No?
Says he has a 3-4 record in London games.
Oh, sorry, Blake Bortles.
You gave him a lot of credit.
I was convinced maybe it was like when they first started playing in London, he had played like 2 games, and they were like, Blake Bortles is undefeated in London. It just like stuck in my brain forever. Yeah, no, I'm so excited to not watch that game on Sunday.
Yeah, no.
I will not be waking up to watch Patriots Jags. Sorry.
I forgot. And I actually wanted to watch Bears Jags because I like the Bears. I'm very intrigued by Caleb Williams. And I forgot that there was a London game, and all of a sudden I got a fantasy notification. It's like 9:30 in the morning, or it must have been like 10.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, there's a football game on right now, like right in my couch.
Yeah, no, I usually don't get to watch the London games. One, because they're usually not fantastic, and two,
Yeah.
because I'm normally in a workout class at that time. So it's
Yes.
like I just don't. Maybe I'll catch the fourth quarter or like the last 2 minutes, but like at that point, I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what? Shout out to Blake Bortles. I respect you, sir, and everything. But the funny thing about Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, I was just talking to my coworker today. Shout out Madison. We were talking about Doug Peterson and Nick Foles in the Super Bowl, and she was like, "We're never gonna see that ever again." She's like, "That was an anomaly," and I was like, "Literally, there's two timelines happening right now. There's a timeline where Tom Brady wins that Super Bowl. We're currently in I don't know if anybody's watched Loki, but it's like that same thing with like the sacred timeline. We are a branch off of the sacred timeline. We are the anomaly
Yep.
timeline where Doug Peterson and Nick Foles win that Super Bowl because it's never going to happen again. Nick Foles does not play in the NFL anymore. Doug Peterson is one game away from getting fired. Both of those people have a statue.
Yep.
Insane.
Yep. No, I actually was talking about it at work today, and I was like, this is the thing with Philly sports. We're always someone is good enough that the city isn't burning, but we're not good enough to like do anything unless every single person doubts us. Like if anyone gives us any ounce of credit, and like it's so funny because growing up, I was like I wanted everyone to love Philly. Like I was like, no, like again, literally the no one likes us, we don't care mentality before it was like really a thing.
Right.
Or before it was like a trademark phrase or whatever. But that is so true. Like if people respect Philly, if they give Philly credit, we suck. If people are like, you will never be anything, we're like, actually, we're going to win the Super Bowl with our average coach and backup quarterback and beat the greatest of all time. So
incredible.
Underdog masks, like everyone needs to, like, that's why I'm low-key happy with everything going on right now. I'm like, hate us. Tell us our season's over. Tell them Jalen Hurts is a dud. Say Nick Sirianni sucks. I'm like, I want the national media. I want every single person to pick against the Eagles for the rest of time because then we'll finish the season undefeated. Like, that's what we need to be good.
Yeah. I'm sorry about your Phillies, by the way.
No, you're not.
I'm not, but I'm sorry for you.
Thank you.
That's my friend.
Honestly, I've recovered from it. I'm low-key glad it happened the way it did because if they dragged it out and gave me it's not our year. It wasn't our year. If they just dragged it out and won a couple more games, I would have started getting delusional and that couldn't happen. I have no idea what to expect for them this offseason, next season. I feel like there's going to be a lot of change. We extended Rob.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Which confusion. Through the end of 2025, absolutely fine. To guarantee 2 years right now makes me nervous. But Phillies are a hot mess. However, how are you experiencing playoff baseball still? I haven't watched a single game since the Phillies have lost.
I probably would not either if my team was not in it, but
yeah,
it has been very fun. I have not experienced baseball like this since I was in 8th grade. And it's like really refreshing. And like the Yankees have been good, like consistently. There's not really like a bad Yankee team per se. But like I'm like, wow, we are more than likely going to be going to the World Series, which is like super cool. And I'm like super stoked. And I was like actually able to like wear Yankee stuff today. And I was like, this is so cool. I love this. It is very refreshing, especially as a Giants fan. It's really nice to watch a team that's winning games. That's I think the real thing.
Yeah. Did you see Taylor and Travis?
Did I see Taylor? I sure did. I'm sitting there and I had gone over to my parents' house real quick and my dad had it on and I was sitting there. I literally was just like sitting on the edge of the couch like I was like getting ready to go and they just like popped up on the screen and I went, what? Wait, what? And then I went, oh, Travis is from Cleveland, so it makes sense. And they're usually together in New York like 95% of the time. Yes. And then also I realized Jason was at MetLife for Monday Night Football, so they were probably all together at some point. Makes a lot of sense. But I was jarred. I was not expecting to see that woman at a Yankee game.
I saw someone had a clip on Twitter. There was a girl and a guy sitting in front of them, and you could see the girl like turning around. I don't know who she was, what the relationship was, but you could see her. And then she finally turns around and she said something to her. And I'm assuming she said, like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like, what are you doing here? And Taylor, she goes, wait, what? What? She's like trying to hear her. And then you just see Taylor's lips go, I'm watching sports.
Yeah.
I was like, pop off, my queen.
And the best was at one point too, there's a still somewhere of like her like intently listening, and Travis is like leaning over and like saying things to her, and they're like, he's just explaining to her what a grand slam is.
Yes.
Like he's like breaking down baseball for her because she probably knows the basics of it, but like, you know, just overall, just explaining everything to her, which I think is very cute. And I love that for them. And I hope you enjoyed it.
These pictures of them.
Oh, so cute.
Wait.
Oh, they're so in love.
They are. Look at them
making out at a Yankee game.
Yankee bastards.
I want to make out at a Yankee game.
Oh my God, Michael, please take Sam to a Yankee game and make out with her.
I usually go to at least one Yankee game every year too, and this year I didn't go to a Yankee game because of my wedding. Because normally I was offered tickets back in June, and I was like, I can't go. I gotta get married, so I did not get to go to a Yankee game this year. But
you didn't want to skip your wedding for a regular season baseball game.
You know, unfortunately, my priorities were not straight enough for that. But to cap off the top of our show here, we did not get to our Gridiron Gossip segment yet, so we'll end off with that. Yes. This week on our Gridiron Gossip, we have Haasan Reddick, who has currently been given, by the time this episode comes out, the window will be closed. He's been given a 12-hour window to seek a trade from the Jets. And also his agents dropped him a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Because he was costing them too much money. Yep. And so he went out and got a new agent. And somehow that agent got him a 12-hour window. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And honestly, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it because he was an Eagle and he left, or not left, but got traded from the Eagles to the Jets. And the pros to me the cons seem to be outweighing the pros right now with the amount of money that he's losing.
No, this situation has honestly been very, very tough for me because Haasan Reddick was one of my favorite Eagles. I loved him. He's a beast. He's a Philly native. He did such amazing things for us. He brought like great leadership, like all around was amazing on the Eagles. And at the time of the trade, we were at a really tough salary cap point. We had to pay a lot of people, a lot of money. And I knew that we were going to keep either Reddick or Sweat. And I was like, we don't get both. We get one or the other. And I was like, it better fucking be Reddick. And I will die on that hill. I still think that's what we should have done. However,
probably right.
Yeah. However, it didn't seem like they were agreeing on a salary. And granted, I fully understood where he was coming from initially because he really was outplaying his contract. He was like, hey, I outplayed. I need more money. All good. The Eagles were like, we just can't do it. So go seek a trade. If you find someone great. The whole situation with the Jets has been weird from the get-go because before they traded for him, they made him an offer that he said no to. They went ahead with the trade anyway, didn't have any offer ready. But now I'm at the point, like I understood it initially, like you want to get paid what you deserve. But at the same time, is it worth all the money that you're losing now? Like, why don't you just go out there and say, hey, I'm going to play my ass off and then request a trade like at this point of the season when trades are happening? It's like, I don't understand. And I've never been a professional athlete, shocking enough. So really?
Wow.
I don't know everything that goes into it, but to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And then in my heart, I'm like, trade for him back, bring him back to Philly. But literally, there's a thing that we can't trade him back. Like, if you've traded a player I think it has to be, unless they're a free agent, we could like sign him, but we can't trade back for him. Because I was like, let's just reverse the Haasan Reddick trade. Like, we'll give him back, we'll take Haasan Reddick, and everything's good.
Yes. We'll pretend like this never happened.
Never happened.
Yeah, no, that makes sense though, that you can't like undo a trade unless.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the following season you probably can.
Yes. Yeah. Like if Haasan Reddick was with the Jets for 2 years, then the Eagles could trade and bring him back. But I'm pretty sure I saw it was like a 2-year window where like if you traded this player away, you cannot trade to get him back.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's a dumpster fire.
It is.
It's a real dumpster fire. And I'd love to like, because like Haasan Reddick has not said anything.
No, I have
like,
not seen the man.
Literally, it's like he's like I don't even know, like a vision.
Yes.
Or like a mirage that like we know he's there, but like we're not entirely sure where he's at.
Yeah.
It's like, because he doesn't even say anything. And I'm like, bruh, you should like come out and like just start saying shit at this point, because at this point you got nothing to lose anymore.
No, it's a really, really bizarre situation. I wonder, what do we know when the countdown for 12 hours started?
It's like 24. It's like
we'll be on Haasan Reddick watch for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, wait, let me see.
Are we like almost at the end? Did it pass?
Well, it's Adam Schefter. Oh, no, wait, that was October 14th. I'm trying to see, at least 7 hours ago.
Okay, so he's got a few more hours.
Like, yeah, like, are they gonna go into the night? Like, I don't know.
Are we gonna wake up to Haasan Reddick being on a new team?
Maybe.
Weirder
things have happened.
And at this point, injuries, like, what if the Lions?
Well, that's what I just saw. Like this random account that like posts NFL news. NFL rumors it is. The Lions should be a team to watch.
I want Howie Roseman to call up the Lions owner and be like, listen, babes, you trade for him now and we'll give you whatever you need to get him back. Like,
yeah.
A little skirt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Wait, so then if Haasan Reddick goes to a different team, can they then trade with another
I believe so. I just don't know the intricacies of the rule, but what I saw was just they can't trade him back from the Jets. But if he gets traded to another team,
okay,
maybe that's a workaround. I actually don't know. Let's see. Hold on.
We're just doing so much Googling today.
Yeah.
Guys, see all this prep that we do? You're actually watching us do prep. Per
NFL rules, teams cannot per NFL rules, per sources, teams cannot trade a player and reacquire him via a trade until 2 years elapse. If Reddick were to return to the Eagles, he'd have to be released or traded to Philadelphia by another team that would have to acquire the pass rusher from the Jets. So yes, if another team picked him up, the Eagles could slide in and be like, yo, he's actually ours.
That's crazy.
Right? Or unless, if the Jets release him, I think Eagles would sign him immediately, especially with the injuries we have right now.
Would they release him though?
I don't know if they can with like how much they traded. Like, I don't know.
Weird.
It's a really weird situation.
Yeah, it's very odd. But yeah. Drama. Yeah, I think that's our show for the week.
That's our show. And the NFL's crazier the NFL's crazy right now, and things are heating up. They're only going to get crazier. If you want to hear more of our NFL thoughts and also just thoughts on life and pop culture in general, make sure to give this episode a thumbs up and subscribe to us here at the YouTube channel. If you don't already, make sure to follow us on all of our social accounts. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at the Unsolicited_podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. And then you can also find us wherever you get your audio podcasts. Boom! It feels so good to be back.
Yes, it feels so good to be back. And we will be back next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye!
Bye!